Hi, and welcome to HUR at Home. It's music night. I'm your host, Angela Stribling. You know, WHUR is on the road to 50 years. So we're doing so much to celebrate. Don't worry. We're going to keep you posted about all the special things we've got lined up. Tonight is very special. I love this woman. I love her voice. We've known each other, it seems like years now. And you already know because we've been talking about it a lot on WHUR. So let me just bring her on. Songbird, singer, songwriter, amazing human being, my girl, Conya Doss.
Hey, what an intro.
Hey.
Thank you.
Oh, well, you know what? There's a lot more I could say. How you doing, Conya?
I am blessed. No complaints thus far. Glad to be on your show.
That's a good answer. Oh, I'm always glad. You know, you're usually on Pillow Talk for years,
Yes.
right? And we didn't see each other until I think it was you were in concert with Jeff Bradshaw.
Yes, that was the
few
last
years
time.
ago.
That was a few years ago. Yeah.
That was a few years
It's been a
ago.
minute.
So, I mean, it's been a minute since anybody's been to any concerts.
Oh, yeah.
How have you been doing? You know, singing? Have you been out performing?
I'm just starting to get out. I've been doing okay. I'm blessed. That's all I'll say. I have to put things in perspective.
Yeah.
Just being careful and cautious and still living life. That's my frame of mind at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, and that's a good combination. Careful, cautious, and yet still living your life. You don't want it to cripple you.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah.
Isabella from Dubai. I love you, Isabella. She's always here, and I
Aw.
just love it. I gotta get to Dubai. Have you ever been there?
No, and I've heard so many wonderful things. I plan to go there one day. Hopefully, when everything subsides, I would love to go to Dubai.
Yes, me too. Kevin, I enjoy you on this platform. Okay, you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Whittington shared. Thank you, everybody. Share it. Put it on your platforms. Put it on your YouTube. All of that. Thank you. So, Kanya, congratulations on your new project. I want to build up to that, but oh my gosh, it's just beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, for those who don't know a lot about you and your background, let's talk about that. I mean, you're from Cleveland, and one of the things I've always admired about you is, yes, you're a very successful singer, and you can just let that be what you do. You can just, you know, write songs, sing, perform, all of that, which a lot of artists do. However, you teach. What is it, 7th grade special education?
Actually, now it's 11th and 12th grade. So
it changed.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Tell us about, you know, how long you've been teaching and what that gives to you, why you still do it.
Wow, I'm going into tell my age. No, I'm just joking.
You look young.
Hey, I'm blessed. I'm not complaining. I'm going into my 28th year. However, under certification around the 24th year.
Bravo. My
you.
gosh.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's getting interesting, but I love the students. I love what I do. I love to see their growth. So I've been blessed to be able to do both. You know, how I do it,
Yeah.
I cannot answer that. I have no idea, but I managed to do it and do them both very well. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you do. I mean, because you know, you've got to be patient and you've got to have a sweetness about you in order to, you know, I
And
guess
a
communicate
firmness.
with
Yeah.
children, and a firmness. And, you know, this isn't just 11th graders and 12th graders. This is special education. So is it a lot more challenging, or how would you describe it?
I would say a lot more challenging on the paperwork side. However, for me, it's just an amazing thing to see students who are reluctant to do work that their peers, their general ed peers are doing, and excel and elevate in it. You know, a lot of them go off to college because a lot of times they don't know that there are a lot of, you know, programs that support students who have, we call them IEPs. And just knowing that they can do whatever the next person is doing, they just have to learn differently.
I love that. It's got to be so gratifying for you.
It is.
Right? To just watch them soar like that. Yeah, that's beautiful. So does that inspire you as an artist?
Yes, it does. It does. And I seek refuge in both. You know, I teach at a performing school of art. So it's that's kind of my hook, like because I do
I
music where I'm in
love
the
it.
heart, so it's like they already like, okay, we can relate, we can connect on that level. Then I have to throw
Yeah.
in the academics, so that's mainly what I do is the academics more so than the artistic side.
I love it. So there you go. Little known facts about Conya Doss. It's out there now. And I just love it. And
Thank you.
so let's talk about you and independent artists. Are you still independent?
Yes, I am. I am
Good.
on the
And is
grind.
that, I mean, but that's where we are these days. Almost everybody is,
Oh yeah.
right? And it's and it's different than it was back in the day when the labels were, pretty much you'd have the machine behind you. Now you're the machine. You build a
Yeah, like
team.
everybody's kind of coming to this side of being independent, realizing the grind is real.
The grind, that's all I hear. The grind is real, but it's also gratifying because the money is real and the career,
Yeah.
it's the way you want it and you get to own a lot more, right, than you would
And
the other
have
way
peace of
around.
mind doing it, and you're kind of moving to your own beat, so to speak. Well, you are.
You are. I mean, and speaking of that, sometimes, I mean, I've heard people try to describe your music, neo soul, soulful. I would say soulful.
Yeah.
How do you feel about all that? What do you
I
say?
embrace it all, but like when I create music, I never put that in mind. Oh, this is what I'm doing. I just did it. And I think my perspective as far as music, I think any music that comes from the heart is soul music, whether it's country, blues, jazz.
Hmm.
It's just all kind of a combination of everything. And I've grown up listening to all those things. So I just say soul music.
Yeah.
But when they say neo soul, I don't get offended. I'm like, I embrace it all.
Okay. Well, that's good because some people are like, no,
And it's not
because
new.
that
Nothing's new though. People need to keep that in mind. Nothing
nothing
is.
is new. It's all, I mean, and I totally agree with what you said with if you're singing from your soul, then you're going to touch people. And that's the whole idea. If you're singing, really singing it from your soul, you're
Right.
going to touch mine. And that's all I want. Oh my goodness, look at the comments. Thank you, Pamela. I love her voice.
Oh,
I
well,
love
thank
her voice
you.
too.
Thank
Whittington,
you.
it takes a special caring spirit to teach. Right about that. Hey, Ward, he says, good evening, dear ladies.
Good evening.
Adina, oh, I think she tagged her friend Deborah Beckles. Thank you,
Oh,
Adina, for that. So, all right, let's talk about your new project. We are blowing up Wishful Thinking so much. We
thank
play it
you.
a lot. Oh my gosh. So, tell me about the whole story with Wishful Thinking. What did you
Wow.
write the whole thing yourself? And who were you talking to? All of that.
Yeah,
We want to know everything.
in one of my lives, I feel like I think I can act, but I really can't. I can't act. But so when I do my music, I'm an actress. But wishful thinking,
Okay.
the gentleman, B. Golden, who's also an artist. I had did a previous song with him called Skin that I loved, and I love his production. I'm like, oh, my project's coming up. Can you work on something? And he goes, let me sit with it for a minute. Then he came up with the track, and it was just like a marriage. I was just vibing.
Mm.
It almost was freestyling. It was just like putting
Oh,
myself in a
I
perspective
love
and
it.
being in a relationship that I really want.
Yeah.
However, things may not be as it seems. It's just wishful
Yeah.
thinking, and that was all she wrote.
Oh, I love that so much. I mean, we all do that,
Oh yeah,
right? They say, visualize a thing and it could come
right,
to
like the song
fruition.
Gerald Levert had. I wish I could. I write the songs that I wish I could live out. Or the song I forgot the name of it,
Mm.
but it was basically I'm writing the songs that I wish I would actually be in these type of situations.
Yes, wishful
Oh,
thinking, baby. Isabella,
absolutely.
she loves wishful thinking. So
Thank
let's talk
you.
about your whole project. Who produced it, and
Mhm.
did you have different producers working with you? Just tell us about the whole thing.
Wow, I had a lot of. This is the first that I've done multiple collaborations. Let me see. Oh my gosh, the usuals are my I say brothers in music. Myron Davis and Rodney Jones, also known as Art of Artez. I'm gonna have the honor of working with Lynn Roundtree again, the fabulous
Awesome.
Miller, of course, B. Golden, and Eric Roberson. I was like, so I was just,
Oh my God. Oh,
yeah,
oh. If I'm not mistaken, this is your ninth album? Is it your
yeah,
ninth?
it's the ninth
Wow.
album. Yeah, Yeah. And I'm always like, this is
I
the last one, but hey, I guess it's
no,
not
no,
for me
no,
to
no.
decide.
You need to just keep going. You can do this for the rest of your life,
I'm
as far
gonna
as we're
try.
concerned. So,
Thank you.
there are so many people. Oh, Whittington says congratulations. So many
Thank
people
you.
just love your music and love your style, and they don't know all this other stuff about you. What is it that you would like your fans to know about Conya Doss that maybe we don't know?
That I am very shy, but I'm a mother first now, but I am an introvert, but music definitely shows a different side. So it kind of balances me
Hmm.
out, you know.
Okay,
So I
I
want them
love
to know
that.
that. And yeah, and that I really appreciate the supporters too, because if it wasn't for them, there would be no me. So it's very motivating. I get, messages, oh, you motivated me. And I'm like, they don't realize, or I hope they do realize how much they motivate me as an artist. And I think other artists can relate to that
Hmm.
because it's not
Yeah,
always an easy path, and it can be
I know.
discouraging. But then you're like, wait a
Yeah.
minute, so it's twofold, so to speak.
So, other than the fans, what else inspires you to keep going? I mean, you've been
Oh,
doing this a while, and like you said, it is difficult, especially
mhm.
when it's not the immediate gratification. There might be one of the songs that you think is going to work, and you're working it
Right.
yourself, and there are the disappointments. What keeps you going?
You know what? It's just like every time if I get discouraged, it's like it's not for me to stop. When you're given a gift, I really have no control over
Hmm.
that, so to speak. So I just have to keep going. And when I get messages from people saying I've saved their lives or I help them kick, I'm like a
Oh,
drug habit. I mean, you just never know, how you touch
wow.
them. That's what I say. Like, wow. Or when I see my students when they're, coming to me, hey, can you look at these lyrics or can you read this poem? It just inspires me. So there's a reciprocation there, and it just kind of naturally flows when I go into the studio and write. Because, like during this pandemic, it has not been easy, but it was just like I was galvanized with something just to write. And just one more thing, and I'm sorry I forgot. Oz Keys worked for me on this project too. He and I did
Ah, okay.
an EP called 6019. He's from London. And we also collaborated on Through Rose Colored Glasses. So I'm sorry, Oscar, but yeah,
Ah.
excellent.
No, you got it in there. So, oh, Carmen, I'm playing Wishful Thinking on YouTube right now. Love it. Oh, that's
Thank
so
you.
nice. Aha! Thank you, Carmen. So, okay, we're talking about your entire project. And when I listen to the lyrics of a lot of your songs, they're always very positive. You're very, the optimist. Uh, is that how you would describe, well, it sounds like it. I mean, the title is very optimistic, but how would you describe your whole album? The
I
vibe?
think like when we say through rose colored glasses, especially during this pandemic, it's like sometimes you have to see the good in everything to keep your sanity and
Hmm.
stay grounded. And then
Ooh.
sometimes you have to see things for what they are. And that I think wishful thinking is one of it. It's like, am I wishful thinking? Or at some point you're gonna have to call
Mm.
a spade a spade. If it's not working, it's not working. And
Yeah.
just being able to also see the good in things. And that's how long haul, came about. It's like through the good and bad, we're in it for the long haul. So it's kind of a duality in that the meaning of through rose colored glasses as well.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
And so I know you don't want to talk about what's coming next, the next single, or do you? Like, is it okay? Okay.
I'm gonna let wishful thinking ride until the wheels fall off.
Let it ride. Exactly, till the wheels fall off. Hey, listen, and it can. It's very, very special. We
Thank
got,
you.
oh, that's Tracy Harrison. I thought it was Tracy Hamlin.
Uh,
Tracy Harrison said that is special. You know Tracy
Thank
Hamlin,
you. No,
singer? Oh, okay, yeah, she's
but now if I
amazing
do, I'm
too.
about to look her up.
Oh yeah, you'd love her. You'd absolutely love her. And working
Okay.
with other artists, you mentioned Eric Roberson. He's one of my favorites as well.
Mine
Howard
too.
University grad. And but talk about working with other artists and how that affects you as an artist. Like different artists, do they bring different things out of you?
Absolutely. Eric Roberson, I'm a huge fan of his music. He's one of my favorite artists as well. And we did the Capitol Jazz. We were talking about
Yeah.
collaborating, and then the pandemic took place. And I'm like, okay, This
Mm.
may be a perfect time or maybe not. It depends on what headspace, where everybody was during that time. So I just was like, hey, I reached out to him, sent the track, and he was like, I love it. Let's do it. But it was really interesting
Oh,
trying to record and send the tracks,
yeah.
via online. So that was the kind of drawback from the recording. But other than that, I was pretty happy with the product. Mickey Miller, she definitely brought a totally different vibe out when it came to my vocals on the song called Funny. I mean, she's like a scientist. I'm like, oh my gosh. So it was pretty
Oh my
interesting.
gosh. So what
Yeah.
do you mean? How would you? I haven't heard that song yet. So
It's just the
how
whole
would you
vibe, the
describe?
way what she did with the track, how she kind of flew my vocals in, things that came
Oh.
from a different angle that I wouldn't expect. But I was very pleased with it. I'm like, okay, and off keys is the taskmaster because I did a lot of my recording at home, which
Okay.
to me was hard because I kind of let myself get away with certain things, and I was like, okay, I got that.
Okay.
Because I'm like, it's the rawness, and God would be like,
All
oh,
right.
you have to do a retake of that vocal, or
Like
if
it's
you're
too
gonna do
raw.
it, yeah, yeah. So I'm not saying I was being lazy, but kind of trying to get away with some things that I know I wouldn't if I actually went to the studio to have my,
Yeah.
do the vocals or somebody else, working on
But
that. So
also, I mean, it helps having another set of ears because other
mhm.
people will hear things. I mean, and that goes both ways. You might think, oh, I
Right.
need to do that again, but they'll be like, no, don't touch it.
Exactly, because you're your worst critic anyways. But some things I was like, I can get away with that. And then I was like, nah, you need to redo that. But you're right. To get other sets of ears is always wonderful because it's coming from a different perspective.
Yeah, yeah. It's so interesting just talking to different people, different artists, and how the pandemic really helped them just
Hmm.
kind of step some things up that they had no time to do. So, other than the work, other than, working on your music, what else did you discover about Kanya during the pandemic when you were at home?
Wow. Well, I've been doing a lot of reading. I love a lot of nonfiction books. So I've been
Oh,
reading like
nice.
history books and things like that, things that I would buy these books and I'm like, I'll get to it. So I actually had time to sit and do that and also just connect more with my family, my immediate family. Because you think about it, when you're going to work, everybody comes and you spend a little time, then it's time to get, cleaned up, go to bed and proceed with the next day. It was a
Yeah.
little different. And just to me, it helped me value, my family more, even more.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
looking forward to going back out, though, back to normal?
Yes, I am because I miss the
Me
family. It's like
too.
you don't realize it. It's like, wow, because even people were doing like the virtuals. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think, even with the verses or whatever, I'm like, it was just something to uplift people. So the energy there,
Yeah, it was wonderful.
it is nothing like live performances. I'm so sorry. That
Yeah.
connection, that energy is just, it's
Yeah.
unmatched.
Yeah.
So
Well, I can't wait to see you perform. I hope you come to the DMV soon. You
I
should be here
am.
this weekend. Are you going to be here for the Capital Jazz Festival?
No, but I'll be there in November. So I
Oh,
will let you know. Yeah, I wish I
shout
could.
it out. Do you know? I
Yeah,
know. I think
yeah.
Eric's going to be there. Do
Oh,
you know your venue in November? Do you know where you're going to be?
the city winery, DC.
Oh, that's awesome. I love the
Yeah,
City Winery. So,
yeah.
okay, so I want everybody to connect with you on social media so that when you're on your way here, we need to pack the house
Oh,
and
yeah.
show you some love. You are such a beautiful person,
Thank
and I
you.
just admire you, and I love your music, and I'm
Likewise.
so happy for you. And you are blowing up in all the press. I've seen you in all these magazines.
I
I'm like, that's
know.
my Konya.
I am so blessed. I'm like so grateful. I don't take anything for granted. So
Oh,
I'm
it's
just trying to put
more.
my little imprint, my little tiny imprint in history. That's all I'm trying to do.
Oh, I love your humility, but I am so proud of you. I mean, I'm not going to
Thank
be humble
you.
about it. You are blowing
Oh,
up,
thank
and people
you.
are finally taking notice.
I
And
appreciate it.
you're worth every bit of it. Just keep going.
Thank you.
So, you're very welcome. Tell everybody how they can connect with you on social media, and hopefully they'll do that and come celebrate you in November.
Okay, I'm on Facebook under Conya Doss, and I have a fans page as well under Conya Doss Fans. I'm on Twitter under Conya D, Instagram under Conya Doss, and my website is www.conyadoss.com. I always mess up. And any TikTok, my son is trying to get me into it. Maybe I'm trying.
Do it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Why not?
I'm going to look for you because I do follow you on IG. I spend way too much time on my Instagram page just watching it. So entertaining. So I'm going to look for you and your son. I love it.
Well, wait, that's going to come up. I'm going to get brave and do it. We'll see. That's what I'm contemplating on.
Come out of your shell. Just do it.
I'm coming more and more.
Conya, thank you so much for spending time with us. We absolutely love you and can't wait to see you in the DMV. Congrats on everything. We love Through Rose-Colored Glasses, Wishful Thinking. We're going to ride it out until the next one.
Yes.
Until you drop the next one.
Thank you.
Night,
stay beautiful.
Aw, you too, Conya.
Okay, see you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Wow, that was Conya Doss, Songbird, songwriter, and beautiful soul. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of HUR at Home. As I mentioned at the top of this conversation, we are on the road to celebrating 50 years of WHUR. Did you know that? December 10th is actually our technical anniversary, but that's just going to be the beginning of the celebrations. So keep listening to 96.3 WHUR and keep checking in WHUR.com and at WHUR-FM on all social media and WHUR on YouTube. Just check everything so you don't miss anything that we're doing. And you can connect with me on social media as well at Angela Stribling on all platforms. And don't forget, Pillow Talk with Angela comes on Sunday night right after Manzi Pullen and the original Quiet Storm. Whew, got all that out. Thanks again for joining us tonight and for commenting. Really love that. Have a good night.